morning.
Good morning.
A very interesting discussion. I thought, like, so what's wrong with being obsessed with a discount? Surely it's normal that we would look for the best price, right?
It's a good thing from a consumer point of view. And if you think about how the consumer is so strapped at the moment with the VAT increases, utility prices increasing. We've also seen petrol price. Yes, it's come down recently, but 100% increase over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So we are seeing a strapped consumer, and it does make sense that they would look for promotions. The problem is that it's caused pantry loading. So consumers now wait for the promotion, look for a different shop that will offer the promotion and buy on discount, which commoditizes the brands to some extent. You lose a little bit of your brand equity as a manufacturer, which is not a good thing.
Are they changing brands because of this, or are they sticking to their brands, just to clarify, but finding out where they can get it cheapest and waiting for the time when they can get it cheapest?
It's a very good question, actually. Yeah. They are generally, when they like a brand, they're swapping stores. So 22% of them will swap stores if they see it's on price, a better price somewhere else. In some cases, they're moving brands as well. They're moving to value for money brands or private label. So we have done other studies that show private label is growing as the consumer is strapped. So there is some loyalty, but there is a lot of swapping of brands and stores as a result of this.
Okay, so if brands are not necessarily suffering, then who is actually suffering? Is it the actual retailers then? Or
well, the brands are suffering to some extent because we're looking at about 66% of those promotions not breaking even. So your margins and your revenue on those products is being impacted. So if you imagine you promote, you would have sold the volumes anyway, but now you're selling it at a lower price. So from a manufacturer, retailer point of view, that's not a good thing. That's who's suffering. And I think the pressure to continually promote is creating some challenges in the industry.
So who do we blame here? Do we blame the consumer, or do we blame the people who say, okay, we're offering 40%, the others percent off, the others are offering 45% off or 50% off something? Where's the actual problem then in how this is put out to the public?
I think it's all round. The consumer's responding, but we've started it as manufacturers and retailers.
Yeah.
We've turned the consumer into a price-sensitive shopper looking for the discount. So I think the blame lies everywhere. And I think the key thing is, if we want to keep the brand equity, if we want to kind of offset this to some extent, we need to understand where to promote, when to promote,
yes,
and how deep to promote. Don't just promote willy-nilly.
Because there seem to be specials and sales all the time.
Exactly.
Sometimes, I mean, you would most commonly think, okay, after payday, from the 24th or 25th, you'd start to see advertising. Yes. But I walk into a store and I'm constantly looking for that board with a little red block or something that says discount. So, and it seems to be there all the time.
Yes.
So is that a big contributor then?
It is a big contributor. So what's happening is we're promoting more frequently. The frequency of promotions increasing, and to some extent the depth of the discount, the extent to which we promote is decreasing. One of the solutions would be to really understand your brand. How is it going to respond? Potentially promote more deeply but less often. Because if you do that, you don't have this mass response to price changes all the time, and you don't have consumers waiting for the next promotion. When there's a promotion, it really means something. The price is very different, and then you have the right response.
Okay,
so I think that's the solution.
What do you see as the worst case scenario? What could happen if those habits don't change from both sides?
A continual spiral of promotion. So people will not buy brands until they're offered on XYZ discount. So people will swap stores continually. They will only shop when certain products are on promotion, and the brand equity will go. So that loyalty to the brand, that willingness to pay a little bit more for the brand will eventually be impacted if it continues in this way.
Okay, so it's more than just finding that number with the percentage next to it on that board. There are people who suffer because of these actions.
Absolutely.
Thanks for breaking that down for us. That's Kerith Botha. She's from Nielsen Connect. We're talking about shopper habits and, of course, how they are drawn in as well, and what this is doing to manufacturers and retailers and everybody all around. Thanks very much for that.